Good day, my name is EnjoyMusic, and on the 12th of April 2025, I had the opportunity to visit the Kimberley Bonsai Kai. I visited their monthly meeting held at their Clubhouse and visited some of their members and their gardens and had the opportunity to interview them. I hope that you will enjoy the video. Okay, I'm here at the Kimberley Bonsai Kai Clubhouse and I'm here with one of the members, Dean. Now, nice to meet you, Dean.
Yeah, same.
Cool. I just had a couple of questions. Quickly, how did you guys get this clubhouse and how long have you guys been here?
Okay, so we've received the clubhouse actually gifted by the old Toys Pond mine. And yeah, it's part of the old single quarters of the Toys Pond, redundant buildings. So yeah, it was actually gifted to us by the mine to use it as part of a community to get all the buildings in use again. And yeah, so we've been using it for 2 years, and yeah, we're busy with the beautification as well. So yeah.
So then what future plans do you have for the clubhouse?
At the moment, our biggest focus is growing the club. And as you can see just behind me here, we started a grow garden.
Yeah.
So that's one of our biggest projects, to grow the club as well, to give all of our members space to grow the plants.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately not all of us has enough space at home, 50, 60 trees. And yeah, so the future plans is just to get more people involved and to eventually put a canopy over our garden bed to protect the plants from the Kimberley's 40+ degree summers.
I understand that there's other venues on this property that are also being reused for the community. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, Liam, yes. So this is part of the single quarter. So previously it was used as a drive-in as well, as you can see behind me. At the moment, that's unfortunately not in use. What we do use it for is the Toys Pond mine members can use it as a gym as well.
Yes.
And then we have a sewing class as well for the community, that the ladies can come in and teach the young girls for the community how to sew. And then yeah.
Are there ever markets here? Does it ever get open for the public that the public can use? Doesn't this space get used as a market?
Liam, at this stage, not yet. But yeah, we did speak about it in the club to get more community members inside and see if we can develop it further.
So speaking a little bit about the state of the Kimberley Bonsai Kai now, how many members are you, and what are some of the activities or highlights that the club has on their calendar for the year?
Liam, so at the moment we're relatively small still. We're about 22 members in the club. We've seen some growth in the past year or two as we've been about with exhibitions and so on. So a highlight every year in our calendar is our annual dig.
Okay.
That takes place end of November usually, and then we go out to a farmer or somebody's grounds that we have permission to dig, and we get our wild Yamadori material there. So that's a big highlight. And then we've been focusing more on creating a South African feel on our bonsai to get away from this Japan like structures of the bonsai as well. So that's one of the highlights. The other highlight, like last year we had one, Vian Habs was here as well from Bloemfontein Bonsai Kai. It's great to have someone like that in the club and to inspire the members with what can be achieved in South African conditions. And yeah.
So how often do you guys meet?
Liam, at this stage we meet once every month, every second Saturday. Okay. Depending on schedules, but we have an annual general meeting in the beginning of the year that we discuss when and how to fit everyone's calendar the best.
Okay, but do you guys not have an annual exhibition? Because did you guys have an exhibition earlier this year?
Yes, we did have an exhibition at Pro Plants. That's our local nursery, but it's not fixed as a yearly exhibition.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're planning one. We try to plan as best we can. So we had the one earlier in the year that was very successful. and there was a lot of interest from the community towards that as well.
Okay, and so then the club turns 50 next year. Are you guys going to be commemorating or celebrating the 50th birthday next year in any way?
Yeah, Liam, for sure. I think 50 years for any club is a milestone.
Yeah, sure.
So I think at this stage we're in discussion, nothing's final yet. Maybe have an exhibition or try to invite old members from previous years just to get a little bit of what's the Afrikaans word, gees going.
Okay,
and
spirit.
Yeah, spirit, and then just have a little reunion, maybe have an exhibition and just enjoy the day.
Okay, great. And then if anybody would like to contact the club to either like join the club or to visit or for any more information on the club, how can they get hold of you guys?
Leon, so we do have a bonsai page on Facebook. It's called Kimberley Bonsai Kai. So they're welcome to pop a message there, or if they visit Pro Plants, there's a small little plaque on the bonsai area there where you can find two of our main members, Quet and Vanner's cell phone details there as well. And then if they're really struggling, they can just ask the nursery manager as well, as we do have ties with him.
Okay, great. Good luck for the club. I hope to make your 50th birthday next year.
Yeah, please.
And it was great to be here. And good luck with the club and your bonsai.
Oh, thanks, Liam.
Cheers.
The meeting then progressed with Quet giving a very insightful talk on African styles, and I joined him later to also give my take on growing South African trees in South African styles. Let's move on to visit some of the members' gardens and interview them.
Hi, I'm here at the house of Quet van der Merwe, the chairman of the Kimberley Bonsai Kai. Thank you very much for having me here, Quet.
It's a great pleasure, and you're always welcome in Kimberley and at our club.
Oh, thank you so much. How long have you been in the Kimberley Bonsai Kai? Do you want to give us a little bit of a history of the club?
Yeah, just a quick one. I started bonsai in '94. Then I was part of the Bloemfontein Kai, and then I had a few transfers and stuff. And at the end of 2014, I ended up in Kimberley, and I joined the club in 2014. So the Kimberley Bonsai Kai is one of the oldest clubs in South Africa, and I'm proud to say we maintained it for over the years. Very few difficulties during the past years of memberships and so on, but next year we will turn 50.
Oh.
And the club was established in 1976 by two members, founder members, John Tidbury and Ethel, I think it's Ethel Sanders, who we established the club and was the first members. And from there we just went from strength to strength.
Yes. I believe that this is one of the legacy tree. Quet, would you like to tell us about this tree?
Yeah, this monkey thorn is indeed a legacy tree. Mary Turner, she retired now and she's staying in Johannesburg, and I inherited this tree from her, and she started this tree in 1987, this monkey thorn, and I inherited from her about 10 years ago. And then it was in my care since then. Yeah. Okay, Liam. So what we have here is the wit papierbos canidoot, Camifora, and this is actually also a legacy tree. Inherited, or I bought it from Casper Besuitnout. Actually, a very sad story. He announced that he wanted to get rid of his trees, and I was lucky to buy this one from him about 6 years ago, and soon thereafter, like months, he passed away, and I'm fortunate to have this tree and to care for it going forward. So yeah, the basics was exactly, there's no change in it. The only thing that I did additionally, the tree had two apexes, which was actually a little bit of a flattish rounded crown, So I just worked on the apex and take it off, and a little bit here and there. But in essence, the shape was then designed by Casper. Very, very good, nice tree, and very proud of it. Yeah, Liam, so we're fortunate in the Northern Cape to have wild olives in our surrounds, Senegalias and wild olives. And once a year, our club goes digging for Yamadori. Normally we go to in the Gabse mountain. It is about 80 kilometers from Kimberley. At Smitsdrift, you turn north and then you go over the pass on top of the Gabse mountain, and then there's a lot of olives. It is olive forests on olive forest. You also get the Ficus cordata there, Kunibos, and all sorts of wild shrubs. So, and also besides the trees, very good stone that you can use for root over rock and so on. And this is typically one of the trees that I dug 3 years ago, or 4 years ago in fact. And look at the trunk and the definition that you get here. This is typically one of the trees that's on offer in the Gabseberg once a year that we go there. Yeah, Liam, so my favorites is of course any species that can adapt to the heat in the Northern Cape. Because of the extreme heat and drought, it makes it sometimes very difficult to grow trees. But the wild olive is probably my best, my favorite. And then the ficus species, because they're so versatile, and from any type of style, root over rock, root on a rock, you can use them for that trees for that. So yeah, and then as I said, that is basically the two species. The Procumbens nana as well show good progress in the Northern Cape, also very versatile and flexible. So I think that is basically it.
All right, good day. I'm here at the home of Van der Hoek, who is the Vice Chairman of the Kimberley Bonsai Kai. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming all the way to visit us.
Yeah, actually the privilege is all mine to be here. So as usual, the first question that we always like to ask, and you had an interesting story about how long have you been doing bonsai and how did you get started, and tell us a little bit about your journey through bonsai so far.
Thank you. Yes, my journey started in primary school already. I got a book prize of Rudy Adam on bonsai, and that's where my hobby started, although it only developed later on. I had the privilege to meet and do a beginner's course with Dot Hennigan in Bloemfontein in my high school years, and then unfortunately I had 2 acacia trees that died, so I thought that this hobby is not going to be for me. But luckily when I moved to Kimberley and I met Kweet, our in the Bonsai Kai here in Kimberley, he sparked that enthusiasm again, and that's where I started. That was about 2016.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, thank you very much. And over here you've got an olive, which olives are doing well in your area, and I'd like to, you've got an interesting olive that you've been growing over here. You want to tell us about?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, olives is very common in our area, especially towards the west. They like growing in our environment. They can take the frost, they can take the heat, and they don't like too much water. So in Kimberley that's an ideal tree. But sometimes, because they grow so slowly, if you don't have the privilege to dig up trees, you need to make plans, and we use tanuki style a lot in Kimberley. So we use old stump of another tree that died, and we basically implant our olive into that stump to create a older appearance in our trees. Yeah, that's a style that's very suitable for us.
Yeah, it's looking great. Well done, Werner.
Thank you very much. Hi Liam, I just want to show you my Karoo boerbean. I procured it from Casper about 9 years ago, 8 years ago, and it's a very beautiful tree for me. It's very resistant against our cold. It's resistant against the heat. It flowers and it's got very nice bark. I really like this tree. And the flowers is really beautiful. Unfortunately, it doesn't flower every year. Since I had it, it only flowered 2 times. The first time was abundance of flowers, but the second time only 2 or 3 small spots of flowers, but at least it's flowering. Yes, Liam, this is some of the other species that we have here in Kimberley. This is wild comfort bush, a tree that I obtained in Tzaneen a few years ago. Very nice, interesting features. It's very well equipped for our heat here in Kimberley. Then also the speckworm, Portalucaria afra. Very nice tree for our environment. It's very hardy, doesn't need a lot of water, and very nice tree for our area. Then the wild olive, very nice tree, nice flowing features. We dig them usually here in Gabsberg. If we dig more thicker trunk trees, we've got much better results than with the smaller, thinner trunks, but still a very nice tree, and we enjoy working with olives. And then some other trees that we use is nursery stock, especially boxwood. They grow very well here with us. Also doesn't need a lot of fuss. I tried this windswept style, which is not a very common style for boxwood, and it was successful. I had some trouble. If you de-leaf too many of the leaves, then that branch will definitely die, but it fitted in with the windswept structure, so I enjoyed working with boxwood. The pots I obtained in Kimberley from Casper, and he usually makes these pots himself, so we enjoy working with these pots. In Kimberley, the more shallow pots is not always the best idea, especially because of the heat and the cold in the winter, but the boxwood like it. Then we've got our acacias. I know the name changed recently. Also very easy tree for our area if you just make sure that it stays moist during the very heavy heat days. Then our junipers, also a very common species that we use here, probably the most common species that we use for the beginners, and especially the almost like a waterfall type of styles, and we really enjoy working with this tree. In the summer we get red spider mite, which can damage your trees severely, but if we use oleum, we usually get very good results with the red spider mite. And then also in the winter we have some difficulty with our ficus species, but if you shade them in the winter in a shed, they usually do well. But in the extreme cold, especially some of the winters where we experience temperatures of up to -7, we usually get dieback. I have lost some complete trees because of the roots that basically frosted and died. But then you basically restyle your tree and start from scratch again. That's what we do.
I'm here with Freddy van der Linde of the Kimberley Bonsai Kai, and thank you very much for having us visit your garden and seeing your collection, Freddy.
It's a pleasure.
And Freddy, how long have you been doing bonsai, and have you always been from Kimberley?
Yes, I was born in Kimberley, 1971, and I started bonsai when I was small. I was always interested in gardening and growing trees. I love trees. They're beautiful. Where I went, I looked and admired trees. And I wish I could have a tree like that, but was not meant for me. I saw a Karate Kid movie, and then Mr. Miyagi with his trees. Oh, I wish so, but then for my time there was no Google. So for me was it okay? That tree is in Japan. It's them. We will not have something like that. But I admire always where I go. I admire a tree. Then my first wife just died, and I was not in a good place. And then I started trying again to get my mind back in a calm state. And why not? Because I was always happy between the trees. And so I started buying my trees again. And this time I get them growing, feeding them, giving time, everything. And then I met my second wife. And she belonged to a club. She belonged to a club, to Kimberley Bonsai Kai. And she told me, why don't I go and visit them? And then it exploded. 2010, I started at Kimberley Bonsai Kai. And I went to a convention to Bloemfontein, and I met Tanny Todd there. And wow, this is no way I want. And all these people talking about the trees and all the information, and I was like a sponge. I just want to dissolve it. And now I'm back at 85 trees again. Part of the club. I was the chairperson on a time. From there to now, and I'm still excited for it. For being in a club, and that is why I am still and I'm a great fan of a club.
Okay. Cheers.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Freddy.
Liam, you asked me I must choose trees for you. Why are they special for me? I chose those 3 trees because in bonsai I learned a lot, and what I learned I could when I got engaged, I used a tree to ask my wife to marry her.
Okay.
The pot is inside is the pot she made herself. That's why this tree is in my room. This tree is as long as I'm married now. It resembles my marriage. What I learned to use as a bonsai, when my wife said she was pregnant with my daughter, I planted the seed. This tree is 8 years old. So as my daughter grows, so I manipulate the tree. The same thing is with my son. This tree is 4 years old, and it's different from her. And that is a thing that I'm going to give to our heritage forward. This is things that are special for me. A question on what advice I would give to a new member who starts in bonsai is join a club. Join a club. All information you will receive at a club. This is mine for the years I participate. Every meeting, all the information I put down on paper. That is how you obtain knowledge. And through a club. So my advice to you is to join a club. And my second will be, if you start your bonsai, start the inventory in a diary. In a diary, you write all the things you've done on a diamond date, what you do with your tree. Next year, you can learn from what you did last year, and so you will progress on the tree. All the knowledge and data you'll have if you start a diary. That would be my advice to you. Thank you.
And I'm here with Judith van der Linde, who is from Kimberley, here at her house. Thank you very much for having me here, Judith. Okay, that's it, thank you. So now tell us, Judith, tell us a little bit about how long you've been doing bonsai and how did you get into doing bonsai?
So I was little and my mom and my dad go to bonsai, and then when I was 7 then I began to go to bonsai.
Wow, okay, so you actually started off very young, hey? Is there a special tree over here that you would like to tell us about? Please tell us about it.
So this tree was made with this tree was made of 2016, and it was really a nice tree, and it was nice. It was a little tree, and now it's big like this.
Okay, that's
8 years old.
yes, because I think that this tree is the same age as you. I wonder, yeah, so then this is your tree. I thank the Kimberley Bonsai Kai for their amazing hospitality and how warmly they welcomed me. And I leave feeling that I've learned so much to see how they have to deal with their extreme environment. I gifted the club one of my display scrolls. It was a scroll that was a duplicate of a Pierre Neuf painting. I felt this fitted the theme of African styles for bonsai. Thanks for watching.